Welcome to another one of my travel tip videos. Hi guys, tip number one. The hotels are not the only place to stay. There are backpackers and hostels, which are obviously the cheapest places. There are apartments or private accommodation with B&Bs, and there's also house swaps which you can find on the internet. We're actually staying in a resort here, which is an older resort which is now owned privately by individual unit holders and rented out to us. Obviously it's a much cheaper option than the hotels. Tip number two, always negotiate. Negotiate with the accommodation provider for a sweeter deal. That doesn't necessarily mean price. You can deal for a free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, or an upgraded room. So don't forget, always negotiate where you can. If you want to check on Groupon or Booking.com, TripAdvisor.com, you can get a base rate to negotiate your price if that's what you want to negotiate on. Okay guys, tip number three. The hotel star ratings don't mean a lot anymore. So before you book, you need to do some multiple reviewing on the internet. You can go to TripAdvisor.com, that's a very good one to find out people's views and feelings about where they've stayed. Or you can talk to other travellers where they've stayed and where they've been, just to see what's good and what's bad in the area. Okay, catching a taxi. If you're going to catch a taxi around the city, find one with a meter. Some taxis don't have meters, so we need to negotiate a price at the beginning of the journey. So ask the taxi how long it'll take, how much it will cost before you actually start the trip. You could also use your mobile phone, use the GPS and just check whether you're going in the right direction, how far it is, and so forth. Okay, tip number five is if you're going to hire a vehicle to drive, you'll need to use your driving license from your home country. International driving licenses are a thing of the past, I've found. Everywhere I've hired since the late 90s has accepted my Australian driving license. So just have the driving license with you at all times. If you use a disabled sticker like I do, you'll need to carry that with you too, because a lot of countries do accept that as a genuine disabled parking permit. So carry that with you at all times. If you have a medical certificate you need to drive, also have a copy of that with you for when you're hiring that vehicle. And don't rely on the airport prices. Shop around. Once you get to a place, ask the hotel concierge and they will often give you the phone number of a car hire place that's a better price than at the airports. Tip number six, you need to find good places to eat. So the first thing I suggest is to find a restaurant where there's no one that looks like you inside. This will give you authentic local cuisine. If you want to look for a restaurant that's also very busy, that's probably the best place to eat. The clientele are obviously voting it better than the quiet places, so just try and eat where there's lots of people. You're going to get an authentic local dish and you know it's going to be good quality. Experience the local food the best you can. You can always fall back on those Western franchises when you get hungry. Tip number seven, use the local tour guide whenever you visit a monument or a museum. They can give you far more detail than what you can read on the signs, and they can give you a little bit of the history of the wheres and whys as well. You could also possibly take an audio tour. Some places offer audio tours, which is a little tape that you play in your ear as you walk around. That's a good way of getting the information, plus you can do it at your own pace. When we arrive in a new place, we like to take the hop-on, hop-off bus, just so we can get our bearings of the city, and it'll also show you what you want to see and what you don't want to see. So that's always a good idea as well. Okay guys, the final tip of the day is to stay healthy. You'll find that in foreign countries, the toilets are not always as clean as we expect them to be, and a lot of toilets don't have toilet paper. So carry plenty of toilet paper with you as you go around. If you take a travel-sized bottle of hand sanitizer, that's always a good idea because you can use it to wash your hands even after you've used the sinks, because they're not always that clean as well. Also, if you take a pack of sanitized wipes with you, you can use it to wipe down your tables, etc., because you just don't know who's been sitting there before you and whether they were cleaned properly. And the last thing I want to mention is always carry some bottled water. Most countries don't have drinkable water on tap, so if you have a bottle of fresh water with you at all times, you know it's going to be clean. So guys, if you want to subscribe to my channel, just click here and you'll be able to go to our channel to subscribe. And once again, I'd like to thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.